of Bhakti Yoga. It's the real innate nature and constitution of the soul. It's not a religion in the sense of believing something. Like somebody can believe in Jesus Christ, believe that Jesus Christ saved me, and then they may change their mind and think, well, maybe I should become Muslim, and then practice Buddhism. All of these are fine in their way, but the fact that we can change from one to another means that none of them is actually so fundamental. But Bhakti Yoga is the original nature of the soul. Original nature of the soul is to serve. Here in the material world, we're serving matter, trying to connect with matter, trying to relate with matter. Relate with sunsets, relate with sailing boats, relate with lovely ladies, handsome men, nice food. It's all material. Even the people, although person is actually spirit soul, wrapped up in the mind and the body, but we're so tightly wrapped up, like flies in a spider's cocoon. The spider's like wrapped its threads around. We're stuck like this, and Maya's just sucking the juices. So even though the spirit soul is transcendental, but in the material world, people are calculating that they're material. So we're trying to fulfill this propensity, this tendency to serve here in the material world, and we're not becoming satisfied because matter is inert, dull, and the soul is alive. So matter can't actually enliven the soul. But life after life, we don't understand this, and we continue. So Bhakti Yoga means linking with the Supreme through loving devotional service. Loving devotional service to the Supreme is the original energy of the soul. But it's covered at the moment. So to receive this, we have to meet with a pure devotee. Pure devotee means somebody who's actually engaged in this. Somebody who's really, on the soul level, is actually serving. It means they've realized their spiritual identity. Bhakti Yoga, it's not just on the physical platform or even on the mental platform. But the actual pure devotee, they completely realize their spiritual identity. And spiritual body to spiritual body, they're serving Krishna in the spiritual world. So this is very elevated. It's difficult to understand, it's difficult to attain. It's simple, but it's not easy. So to come to that level, to come to that platform of actual devotional service to Krishna, then we have to take shelter first. So there's a process of taking shelter. And if we don't practice this process of taking shelter, then we can't practice Bhakti Yoga, it won't work. It's like trying to drive a car in neutral. You've got to engage the gears. So, while we're hearing this very elevated philosophy and very beautiful pastimes, things that are going on in the spiritual world, but we have to make a connection. Krishna's presenting himself, like he's coming in the form of Gurudev. In one sense, Krishna's Guru is like Krishna. He's as good as Krishna. He's directly the sublime and divine qualities of Krishna. But we have to reciprocate. Bhakti is not something that just happens to us. Like, oh, I believe in Krishna, and no, I believe in Krishna. I'll go back and be a gopi at the end of this lifetime. No. Bhakti Yoga means meeting. So now we're meeting with so many people, so many things, so many situations, and expending so much hard effort too. If somebody's serious in their work, they'll be working so hard. If they're serious in their sport, suppose they play squash, or windsurfing, whatever. There's a lot of effort goes into that. So why should we think that it's going to be less effort to connect with Krishna, meet with Krishna? No. It means we really have to apply ourselves. We have to understand what is this process of taking shelter. First of all, understanding that I'm helpless, I'm spirit soul, really and truly I'm a servant of Krishna, I'm completely alone in this world. I've got no power here. I'm overcome by the material nature, overcome by the material energy. But there is power, but I have to reach out for it. Krishna will give me. So I have to reach out. I have to make myself available. I have to give myself over to Him. And when I do that, and this is the fundamental mode, Krishna is my maintainer. He will look after me in every respect. He'll provide what I need. He'll protect me. And then adopting things that are favourable for bhakti and giving up things that are unfavourable for bhakti. So there's a scientific, systematic process. It's very similar to the 12-step process for recovering from addiction. Why is it similar? The 12-step people, they found something that worked. And actually we're Mayaholics. We're addicted to Maya. Can't give it up. Habit means something you can change. Addiction means you can't change. So we're addicted to Maya. We can say, oh, I'll stop looking at lovely ladies, I'll stop thinking about nice men, I'll stop engaging my tongue in so many different ways, I'll stop doing this, I'll stop doing that. Next time. To a certain extent we can change, but if we seriously practice, we're going to find a core of something that we just can't change by ourselves. So therefore we have to take up Sharanagati. This process, turning our lives over to Krishna. So practicing Sharanagati, it's not that we practice Sharanagati first of all and then we practice Bhakti. But we should practice Bhakti with Sharanagati. Sharanagati means this process of taking shelter. So we have to understand this process of taking shelter. This is called the doorway to Bhakti, gateway to Bhakti. So you can't get in. You can't get into the palace of Bhakti through the window. I won't allow it. You've got to come in through the gate. And that gate is this process of taking shelter. So, on the one hand, we hear some very beautiful and very sublime Harikatha, engage in beautiful kirtans, wonderful songs, describing what's going on in the spiritual world. And at the same time, we've got to get ourselves in shape here also. Like, if we want to, suppose there's a very nice program somewhere, and we're driving to get there. A nice meeting of devotees, so many devotees coming, and we're driving. And then we have to get the car in order. If the car doesn't work, we're not going to get to the meeting, we're not going to get to the program. So similarly, there's a very nice program going on in the spiritual world. We've got to get our car in order. Means, so this process of getting the car in order, that's the process of taking shelter, Sharanagati. So both this and that. We have to practice bhakti with and taking shelter at the same time. Hare Krishna.